Hello and welcome back to David's Closet. On this channel, we like to talk about handbags, accessories, and all of that fun stuff from the male point of view. So if that's something that interests you, please subscribe to my channel, comment on the video, like the videos you see, go through my playlist and watch them all, catch up on everything. And if you already are subscribed, thank you and welcome back. So this video is going to be a collaboration I was tagged in by the famous Winnie BLV. Story time here in a second, but it's my 5 least used handbags. So I'm kind of excited to do this video because not long ago I did a collab where Jean tagged me, and the tag was 5 most used. So this is kind of fun to see the opposite side of that. Now, before I get into it, I want to talk real quick about earlier this week. I'm filming this right now. It's on Wednesday. So Tuesday, yesterday evening, Winnie BLV invited me, little old me, to join her live stream show that she does. And normally I don't get the chance to watch them live, so I always watch them, reruns or playback, whatever YouTube calls it. But I'm really excited that she invited me to join because I've been watching her for years. When I started watching YouTube videos, don't ask me why, but there were 2 things I watched: car reviews and handbag videos. I don't know. This was forever ago. The first YouTuber that I actually stumbled upon that I could relate with was Autumn of Autumn Beckman. I'll tag her below as well. Watched her for a while. She actually influenced me to buy a couple of bags. But I like her style. She's not super flashy. She's down to earth. And like me, she's not someone that can just go buy a bag every day at the boutique if they wanted to. She has to methodically, plan her purchases. She loves the pre-love market. She's the one that got me into Fashion File, all of the things. And of course, her channel then led me to Winnie BLV and Yoto Style primarily. I know the 3 of them do a lot of really cool collabs, especially in the past. They did a lot. And then, I won't lie, I don't watch a lot of other YouTube right now, but I have, of course, in the last couple of years. Jean is someone who also makes videos from the male point of view. I know we've done several collabs, and we are friends on YouTube, so that's really cool. And now I can add Winnie to that, which is just like mind-blowing to me. She not only invited me on her channel, I got to speak with her, meet her fans. She also subscribed to me, which is pretty cool, and she tagged me in this tag. So I'm fanboying out because it's just really cool to have the people who I've looked up to, who inspired me to do this, acknowledge my channel, know I exist, all of those things. So I'm really, really hoping that I can continue to grow with them and become part of this group here on YouTube of what I consider real people reviewing these luxury items, which I absolutely love. There's other YouTubers that I watch who review handbags, but they're a little bit unrealistic because they do have the ability to go to Chanel and drop $100,000 on the new collaboration or collection that came out, and then they review it all. And those are fun to watch, but I can't do that. So the group here I love, so I'm so thankful that I could do that and hopefully be part of this group. There's a lot of other YouTubers as well. Jean has turned me on to some. I know Autumn did a video that she's not seeing a lot of new YouTubers on her recommended anymore. Same. So Jean has recommended several to me. Don Loves Couture is another one. There's so many. I'm going to tag them all below that I like to watch. But yes, so Winnie, if you're watching this, thank you. And I really hope that someday I can join you again. Because I just think it'd be so fun. I love just talking to you about this kind of stuff. And I feel like I was nervous because I was meeting, my Kim Kardashian, right? So now that I've done it once, maybe I'd be a little bit less crazy. I don't know. But it was fun, so thank you so much, Winnie. Okay, so now, before we get started with anything, we're going to do the bag of the week. And my bag of the week this week is my Givenchy Antigona in the size small. I don't carry the strap with it, so I just carry it as a little top handle, and I love her. Probably one of my favorite bags. I say that about all of them. Okay, so the tag is bags that you don't use, bags that you carry the least. So most of mine are Coach, And I did cheat a little bit and I excluded some things from mine. My messenger bags I decided not to include those in my handbag. And then I do have a couple of bags that I purchased with the intent to just kind of have them on display. Like I have that potentially real, potentially not Balenciaga. I got it at a thrift store for like 10 bucks. Those things I'm not including. So these are bags that are in my daily rotation and just the ones that I tend to reach for the least. While looking through my bags, I would say I thought my least used would be Coach, but actually it wasn't. So that was really interesting to me. And I'll kind of get into that here in a second. So the first least used bag, and these are in no particular order by the way, is my Coach Tate Carryall 29 in the black. I also have this in a color block currently for sale on my Poshmark account. So that one can be included. I never intended to probably carry that one. It was just such a good deal on the reserve a couple of years ago. And I will link that unboxing below too. But this bag, I had to have it. I pre-ordered it. I was in love with it. I traced it down. Why did I say it like that? I tracked it down. I got my store employees involved trying to find it. And then all of a sudden it was available online. So I bought it. And I paid, I think, $600 for it. Which is a lot for a Coach bag, but it is stunning. This one, to me, reminds me of a Kelly. It screams Kelly Birkin vibes. It's just distressed looking, and part of it came that way. Maybe I got one that probably should have been returned. I don't know. But I've used it a little bit when I first got it, so it's kind of distressed. It's old, it's classic, it's vintage. I love it. It's not actually old, but it does have the 4 feet. And I'm not going to go into a ton of detail on these bags because I have videos, I think, on all of them. But of course, it has the 3 big compartments, the larger zipper, and then the 2 little slit pockets. They're a little bit bigger than your average slit pocket, but you can't put a ton in there because it'll just bulk out the side. And I don't like that style. I don't like what it does to the bag. But this is definitely one of my least carried, and I think there's a couple of reasons. One, the capacity on this, kind of like I mentioned in my Rogue, in my most carried video, which is funny because the Rogue is one of my most carried and these carry about the same amount. This bag just doesn't hold stuff the way that I like it to, and it's a little bit too formal for me. Most of the times I'm wearing a t-shirt, jeans, or shorts and flip-flops or tennis shoes depending on the season. I live in the Midwest, so you know how that goes. It's a little bit too formal. So I just tend to not reach for it a ton. I do love it, and I'm never going to get rid of this black one for a couple of reasons. One, the way it looks, it just doesn't photograph well. In person, it looks beautiful, like beautifully worn, but it doesn't photograph well, so I know I'm not going to get my money back for it, and I do like it. So to me, this is kind of when I want something that's a little bit more formal and structured looking, this is what I would go for. So on the category of Coach, the next least worn is my Coach Lori shoulder bag, and this is the leather with the suede sides. And on the inside here, again, not going to go into grave detail, but it has 3 compartments. It has 2 microfiber lined, which kind of look like suede, but they're definitely not suede. And then just a fabric lined zipper pocket that's larger. And then it has these adjustable shoulder straps, a little clochette on the front. It also has the hang tag, which is inside the bag. And then on the back, just a zipper pocket. I love this bag because it does fit on my man shoulders, so I could carry it like this. I loved the color when I bought it. I got this on clearance. I also have an unboxing for this. It was different. I thought I would carry it a lot. I carried it the first winter I purchased it, and then I haven't picked it up since. So actually this one is also for sale on my Poshmark right now. Both of the bags that I have for sale, I'm not letting them go for nothing. So I'm kind of holding firm on my pricing. I feel like I have them priced very fair compared to what I've seen others, especially in the condition. The Tate color block is brand new, never used. This one I carried maybe for a week. So I do want to say I love this bag. I love that there's not a lot of structure to it, but it's also not super floppy. And I do love the setup because the center pocket is bigger than the Tate center pocket and the Rogue center pocket, the Rogue 25 and the Tate 29. It's much larger. It holds everything in there you need. I don't even put anything in the side pockets when I carried it. And then I also like that the side pockets have a minor magnet. It's not super strong, so it's not like the Rebecca Minkoff bags where you're prying them open, but it is something that just kind of helps keep the structure and shape of the bag. These bags are gorgeous. I love them. They have them in a lot of colors, but I just don't reach for it. The next bag is a bag that I think I've mentioned on here before. I've never done a full video on it. Someday I do plan to, and that is my Les Pliage small short handle in this purple color. So I purchased this years ago. I wanted something different. I think I had a handful of my luxury bags, and I did want something that wasn't luxury. I wanted something that wasn't Coach too. I just wanted something a little different, a little more carefree. So I went ahead and went to all the websites, and I tried to find a Les Pliage in the size small, short handle preferably, just like this, on pre-loved sites, on sites like Dillard's, Macy's, places that sell them, hoping to find one on sale, but I just never could. So there's a pocket back here, and then there's also a pocket in the front right here. A lot of people don't realize there's multiple pockets. It also has the long sharp card in there. So anyway, I couldn't find one in the condition I wanted for the price. So normally these are like what, $120, $125, let's just say. They had this color clearanced, and when I went and decided I was just gonna pay full price because I couldn't find one, I really wanted the navy blue with the same brown trimming and leather. And I think it was, let's just say $125. I'm just throwing that number out there. I don't remember the exact, but they had this one on clearance for $110. So this was a little bit cheaper, not a ton cheaper, but again, for something I knew I probably wouldn't carry a ton and was gonna be a competitor to my luxury bags, I thought, you know what, it's worth saving the $10, $15 and purchase this purple. And I am glad I did, because I don't see a ton of the purple, and it is a beautiful purple. And from a distance, it gives the same vibes. A dark contrast to the leather. Absolutely do love this. Carried it for about a week or two, probably 2 weeks when I first got it. Put it away. I do bring it on vacations because it's small. I can fit it in my suitcase. And I used to always use it on vacations. First couple times I went out of town, this was the bag I used because it's very carefree. If something were to happen to it, it would not destroy my heart. Whereas if one of my Vuitton bags got scuffed up or damaged, I would obviously cry a lot. So, but I've purchased other bags that kind of fit that same purpose now. So I just grabbed for this one less and less. The one actually I've really replaced it with the last couple of vacations is my Coach Outlet Ellis shoulder bag. Again, very carefree bag. Was a great deal. Not super worried about it. I reach for it more because it's a little bit more convenient when I'm on vacation, because it does fit over my shoulder and also has the crossbody functionality. Now I know that you can get these with the long handle, but I think it looks a little silly on the small one, so I would always opt for the short handle, but that does limit what I can do with it because it does not fit over my shoulder and there's no way to crossbody this. Now I have seen people DIY with little grommets and like a leather hole puncher in the little ears that are on the side of the bag. When it's unfolded, they will add a crossbody strap, and maybe that's something I'll try with this someday, but I'm a little nervous just because I think this is a discontinued color now. Though, like a lot of other brands I've mentioned, I feel like I see colors come and go from Longchamp. It'll be discontinued 1 month, and then 2 months later, it's back. So I don't know how they operate. I don't know a lot about the brand, but definitely one of my least used. So the next might surprise some, but it also probably won't surprise some who've watched. And that is this beautiful bag. This is my Louis Vuitton Montaigne MM in the monogram canvas. I purchased this from Fashion File. I think I paid $1,600 or $1,400. I don't remember the exact dollar amount. Let's say 16. And it's in absolutely perfect condition. Absolutely no damage. A very minor patina, which has patinaed a little more since I've owned it, because I did carry it when I first got it for several weeks. But it came with everything except the crossbody strap, the canvas crossbody strap. And I got a decent discount, I feel, at the time because of that. So all for that. And I'm sorry, I have it stuffed for storage. Inside, it just has 3 compartments, 2 big on each side. And then the middle compartment's a little slip pocket, kind of the opposite of both of those Coach bags that I showed you earlier. Now, I do absolutely love this bag, and I have contemplated selling this bag. I actually requested a quote from Fashion File probably about a year ago, and they wouldn't quote me for it. They said they're not accepting this bag at this time. I bought it from them, so it was a little frustrating, and it was right after the year mark, so you would have taken it back 2 weeks ago for 75% of what I paid for it, but now you won't take it for anything. So I may try again someday. I may not. I don't know. I do love this bag. This is definitely one of my most like modern design bags that's still made today, still sold today. It's obviously very expensive. I believe it's well over $2,000 now, brand new. It may even be closer to $3,000. If I can find the price, I'll throw it up here and hope I'm not too far off. But I don't know. There's a part of me that does want to part with this because I could take the money and I could put this towards a bag that I'm going to get more use out of. But then I also think this is one of the most relevant bags I have because a lot of my bags are vintage styles that either aren't made anymore or are overdone in some people's eyes. For example, like the Speedy, that is a entry-level bag for Louis Vuitton, even though I love it. This definitely is not. So not really sure yet, but I just don't reach for it. I think, again, it's the structure and it's the handles. They're cool that they sink inward, but it's just kind of hard sometimes when you're out and about, and I don't know, there's something about it. It's almost too big for the style of bag, but then it's not big enough to be a tote. I don't know. There's something about it. I just don't reach for it, but it is absolutely beautiful. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I may get rid of it. I may not, but I definitely don't reach for it. And this is a travesty. Now the last, kind of like my most used, I'm cheating a little bit and I'm combining two bags because I have the same bag in two different prints and I don't use them equally. And that is my Speedy 25s. And I know you're saying, David, you told us you use the Speedy 25s. I use the Damier Ben Speedy 25 and the 30 a lot. These two gorgeous bags, I do not reach for. And I know why, and I'm going to tell you right now. So the first is the Azure. It's a hard color for me to pull off because A, I'm very pale and light complected. So this kind of clashes. And again, I know this is going to sound stupid and I'm going to punch myself later for it. This bag is very, very feminine. I know, delete the comment. All of these are. Unfortunately, in our society, we attach genders to things like this. And even though Winnie B and me agree we shouldn't, I just did it unconsciously. So that's one of the reasons I don't grab for it. And I'm worried to damage it. This color is known to get color transfer. And this bag is not vintage by any means. I think it's like 2013 or 14. But this bag, again, has hardly any patina to it. Whoever owned it never carried it. I think it was stored in the box, which is why it's kind of hard to get some of the creases out because it was in a box, I think, forever, which you should never do, by the way. So just don't reach for it a lot. And with the beautiful vachetta, if it rains, I can't take this out. So I did carry it for the first time in over a year recently for a week. But then I put it back on the shelf. I'm going to try to force myself to use it more because my Speedy collection is something I'm never parting with. So I really should get some use out of it. So now the one that everyone's going to be like, David. This is my vintage 1993 Speedy 25. This is my birth year bag. This is a holy grail. You guys have seen the video. I'll tag it below. Absolutely love this bag. For how old this bag is, it is in perfect condition. Based off my research, none of the leather or hardware have been replaced except this tab. And there's a spot because I spilled something on it. This tab has been replaced, but everything else is original. And this bag is in flawless condition for being 30 years old officially. It's as old as me now. Well, I mean, it always has been, but we're 30. We're not almost 30. We're 30. So absolutely love it. And the reason I don't carry it is I'm afraid to damage it. I know the leather looks really good. It's not dry, but it probably could use some moisturizer, but I'm afraid to ruin it. So my my solution to that is just not to carry it. If I want to carry a monogram bag, I have a Tivoli, I have my Montaigne, I have my Terrain MM, I have a lot of bags, and you know, someday I am going to add another one just like this to my collection, but I don't care what year it is. I don't care if it's in worse condition. I do want a monogram 25 that I can carry and not worry about. I know it's silly to have a bag that you don't carry because you're worried about using it, because you should use these things, and I'm a proponent of that, but this is one that I just don't reach for because if anything were to happen to this bag, I don't know if I would survive. So I hope that was fun. I am going to try to tag some people below in the comments or in the description box. If you're watching this and you're a small YouTuber just like me and I didn't mention you, comment below and say, hey, I'm going to post this video. And if you have a link to yours, post a link because I want to see yours. I want to interact with more creators, and I want to help people grow their channel. Like, I've been blessed with the help of the people who are supporting my channel too. So please do that. This is great. Check out all the other content creators I have mentioned. Check out the live with me and Winnie. I'll link that below as well. And have a great day. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. So we will see you on the next video. The next video will be my Rebecca Minkoff review and update. It was supposed to be this week, but I wanted to get this video up because the collab just happened, all of those things. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week to discuss the Rebecca Minkoff. And there may be some comments in there that don't make sense because technically it's 2 weeks out of order, but it'll work. So have a good one. Thank you. Bye. Bye. I accidentally copied Winnie BLV's bye, and I can't do that because that's trademarked to Winnie. Oh, David.